Jake, part 2, the backstory. Jake, where'd you grow up?
I was born in the smaller version of Austin, Madison, Texas, Madison, Wisconsin.
Madison, Wisconsin. That's right. And it was you, your sister, mom, and dad.
I'm firstborn, so I came first.
Yeah.
Then our middle sister, Rebecca, and then Rachel, the youngest, born in Tyler, Texas, after we moved. We'll get to that. But yeah, born in Madison, Wisconsin, the freezing cold temperatures.
So you were at one point a Texan with your whole family?
For a couple of years, year and a half.
In Tyler.
What's
What's up with that city?
I don't know. It's still like only 100,000 people, I think.
Yeah. People move there. They love it. I hear nothing but good things about Tyler, Texas.
It has its own mall. Has a lakes nearby it.
Right. Something's going on. I got to check it out. So you got two sisters.
Mm-hmm.
I never met your other sister.
Yeah, Rebecca, she came down, I think, about a year into when I moved here.
Where's she live?
She lives in Wauwatosa, Wisconsin, 20, 30 minutes from my parents.
Okay.
Which they live in Oconomowoc. Yeah, try saying that.
Oconomowoc.
5 times fast. All O's in it.
Jeez, it's a lot of O's.
Yeah, in Wisconsin, a lot of their cities are all Native American names behind them.
So you're living in Wisconsin growing up. What was it like? Did you take the school bus to school or did you get dropped off? Elementary school. We're going to hone in on elementary for a little while. It's one of my favorite talk.
I would say mostly the school bus, but sometimes mom or dad would drop us off.
Yeah.
We're close enough to the school.
Okay. I
mean, I know we did a lot of moving because after Madison, down to Tyler, Texas, then to suburbs of Chicago, Illinois, and then finally back to Oconomowoc.
What was it like for you when you got back to the house after a day in elementary school? What was the environment like?
Mom's always there to welcome you, and she has food ready to go.
Where's Dad?
Dad's probably coming home from work still at that point.
How late?
6:30 maybe,
okay,
depending on traffic.
Yeah, so you're all hanging out.
He used to work for Nabisco, so yes, we did get all the cookies and crackers that company made. How did I not become a fat child? I have no idea.
Well, you really turned it around for the better, and you created a cookie cake company, so way to go. It seems like everything's going pretty well in elementary school. Does that sound right? You having a good time?
Yeah, just living a normal life.
Did you ever get in trouble in elementary school?
Yes.
What were you doing?
Let's see. It was second grade in Illinois, and some guy or other kid was picking on my friend, so just hit him in the nutsack.
You punched?
Oh yeah.
How hard?
I don't know, enough that he was holding him for a while.
And you got in trouble?
Yeah, I got a detention for that. And
bad Jake.
I mean, I was a good child otherwise.
What else did you do in elementary school to get in trouble? At school specifically.
To get in trouble?
Yeah. Because the list doesn't stop there.
I think this was actually kindergarten. So this was when we were living in Tyler, Texas, and we had this brick house.
Yeah.
And there was I was playing outside. There was a little hole between the bricks. And for whatever reason, I was just spraying the water hose in there. Yeah. And all these spiders came out.
Ew.
And then this big black one with a red hourglass on it came out. And I'm like, oh, that looks cool. I got to catch this thing. And I took this tiny little piece of wood here that I had with me, got it on there and quickly threw it in the container. And then I brought it to school the next day.
You're kidding.
And I was bringing it for show and tell. And the teacher's like, oh, what kind of spider is that? Let's look this up. You need to get that thing out of here right now.
Oh, my God.
It's a black widow spider.
Yeah, dude. Now, look, if you actually get bit by one of those nowadays, it's not that big of a deal.
No, but back then, as a 6-year-old kid, I would have died.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, my God.
So I was maybe a few centimeters away from it potentially biting me when I was catching it.
Crazy, Jake. Man, you could have gotten messed up.
Oh, so there's another story with that.
I'd love to hear it.
Down in Tyler, Texas, where...
Wait a minute, is this elementary school?
This is still elementary school.
All right.
Kindergarten-ish, first grade. Went to Disney World with my family.
Yeah.
Through my dad's work at Nabisco. And I was at Epcot Center. And, the big globe there. there was this old game that was on this wooden pedestal. It's apparently the futuristic area, but this old game that was on this wooden pedestal, big box. You had 2 handles on it. One had a clown on it. One had a hook, and you're supposed to like put the hook around the clown's neck to pull it off stage.
Yeah.
And so I'm playing around with it, and then finally got the hook around the clown's neck, and I'm like leaning back, like yelling, "Mom, I got it!" And my hands lost grip, head fell back, hit the concrete floor, and then this 100-pound box just falls with the 2 handles barely just missing my head, and it was a 100-pound box.
Dude, game over.
Literally.
Oh my God.
And
you defied death twice in elementary school.
Yeah. You talk about motherly strength, though. Like, my mom ran over and lifted that 100-pound box.
Yeah, Mom.
And they apparently passed 6 hospitals because my condition was so severe.
You got hit.
Oh, my skull was cracked into 3 pieces.
Oh. Dude, I thought he just missed you.
Oh, no, the handles missed me, which if the handles would have fallen on me, that would have been game over.
Right. Oh, the box itself. Oh, my God.
Yeah, so had this 100-pound box fall on my head, splitting my skull into 3 pieces. It's like I can still feel like some of the areas where there was, or the skull split.
Yeah.
But
dude, isn't that scary crap, bro? That's traumatizing.
Think about it now. No, back then, yeah.
Yeah, back then. When you're a kid, you're like, I could die.
And it's like, one eye is completely swollen shut from the impact, and it's like pus is building up in the other eye, and you're just wanting to see it, but you're being strapped down in the ambulance.
Yeah. And
you're freaking out, like, where's my mom? Like, where are we going? Like, but so we get to the hospital there. They're like thinking about doing surgery, and they're telling my parents, like, we probably can't do surgery because one piece of the skull is like pushing down on his brain, and if we attempt to maybe do anything, like, we could kill him. And so they figured we just got to let this kid heal and just have him sit in the hospital for a couple weeks. And so I'm sitting at the end of this hallway in like at least a pending bedroom or whatever till they move me to like my permanent room. And so literally there's no windows in this place. And my mom's sitting outside, and I'm again at the end of the hallway here. So there's no one else that could get in except through the doorway. This guy walks in all dressed in white, and I don't remember quite what his face looked like, but I could tell he was way older. And he just kind of looked at me and he's like, "What happened?" I'm like, "Box fell on my head." And he's like, has this little mini bunny.
Box fell on my head. Oh.
Yeah. He has this little mini bunny dressed in a Hawaiian shirt, sunglasses, surfboard. Hands it to me, and he's like, "You're going to be okay." And then he walks away. And then my mom walks in, and she's like, "Where'd you get that?" I'm like, "The guy that was just here." And she's like, "No one walked in." She asked the nurses. No one said they saw this guy. Potential guardian angel.
No. Is that why you believe in Jesus?
No. I mean, it's one of the things or reasons why, but
yeah.
I mean, God was definitely watching over me at that time.
Yeah. You're not kidding. That's something else, dude. Goosebumps. Sheesh. So, get past the crazy event in elementary school, almost dying, getting bit by spiders and what have you. Nuts. What was it like in the household? Did you ever get in trouble at your house?
Oh, yeah.
What were you doing?
Just misbehaving, typical stuff, like not wanting to do my homework, not wanting to clean up. I mean, maybe my mom can correct me on this, but my parents didn't believe in spanking or anything. At that point,
mine, I got paddled all the time, bro.
I mean, I probably did at least once or twice, but then they
stick.
Yeah, they switched over to a timeout chair.
Okay.
There's this tiny little chair that I'd have to sit in there, and depending on how bad I was, I had to sit there for X amount of time, determined by them.
Gee.
And then sometimes if it was very bad, I'd be put in the corner facing the wall there for 30 minutes.
And then you're like, "Is it done yet? Is it done?
Yeah.
Is it done?"
And
yet?
as a little kid, you have all this energy. And you're like, "I just want to move." How did I still turn out to be a somewhat okay kid? I don't know.
It's crazy.
But that was their way of disciplining.
Yeah.
Sisters were more of the ones that had to share the room, so they fought all the time over stuff. So I'm like, I don't know what you're fighting about here. I got my own room.
It's good. It's good. Now, your parents' dynamic growing up, In elementary school specifically, did you ever were you ever succumb to arguing or any fights or anything?
Yeah. Depending if it was around finances or just, hey, maybe we were late somewhere.
Okay. Normal stuff.
Normal stuff.
Yeah. No.
But I know there was a point, I want to say elementary school, almost slight middle school, maybe right at the beginning. My dad lost his job in Nabisco. They were just making cuts across the board. And so he'd been with them for years, but kind of a scary time for our family, especially for my parents, because my dad was pretty much the main income provider, and now it's no income. Well, luckily my mom, she, even though was watching us, she went back part-time as a NICU nurse to get some funds coming in for the family. And I remember though, my dad, us kids went with him a few times. I think it was just Rebecca and me. It'd be 2:00 in the morning just to, put food on the table and pay the mortgage. He'd be doing paper routes. And so going to the area to pick up the papers and then just kind of falling asleep in the car, just keeping him company.
Yeah. Wow. Did whatever it took.
To provide for his family.
Found the lateral option. Made it happen. Badass. Love that. That's respect, man.
But I do remember a lot of fights going on with my parents back then over finances.
Yeah, happens.
And at least I got to experience a Christian, or at least a God-centered relationship with my parents. I know a lot of people are just do good relationships out there with married couples exist. And I would say yes, based on the fact that my parents had God as the center foundation of theirs. And so I remember fights would happen, and us kids would kind of go off somewhere around the house, kind of play as they're fighting and just kind of not liking to hear our parents argue. But they would probably hour after they're done arguing, come bring us into my dad's office or den and sit us down and just tell us, hey, yes, we know you probably heard the argument here, and we want to let you both know that mom and dad love each other. We're not splitting up. We're just having arguments over finances. And we also want to let you kids know that you did nothing wrong and that we love you very much, and just some difficult times right now.
Yeah.
But I mean, to see that
communication.
Yeah. And to experience that, it's be nice for a lot of other people to have that. And hopefully how they would raise their kids for anyone our age right now that do have kids.
Yeah, I think it completes the whole circle when you follow up. Say, hey, look, this is what you just witnessed. This is why, and here's the result and the plan ahead. That's really good. Good to teach kids that. What are you most proud of in your elementary school days? What do you like most about yourself?
I was a good artist back then.
What kind of artist?
Drawing, painting.
Yeah.
I was a big fan of Sonic the Hedgehog, my childhood hero.
Yeah, Sonic's cool.
Played all the video games on the Genesis.
Yeah.
But second grade, yeah, I got a picture of Knuckles that I drew, and it got published in Sonic the Hedgehog comics.
Cool.
And so the principal at the time got aware of this and was like, we need to put you in an advanced art school in a college course. And so literally I think I was only there for a month, but I'm sitting in these classes with college students that are way above me.
Yeah.
But I'm still just, drawing Batman, Ninja Turtles, Sonic the Hedgehog, and they're just wow, for a 7-year-old kid, you're really good.
You still do that?
I still, yeah, if we had a piece of paper right now, I could do it all by memory.
Dang, it's impressive.
And also painted a dinosaur mural of my mom's work.
Was this before or after the head injury?
After.
Do you think that had anything to do with your incredible artistic ability?
I don't know. I mean, one thing maybe I can attest to the injury is maybe gave my mind to become a steel trap on things. There's times I can recall the most pointless conversations or a little detail on something that it's just I remember it.
Yeah.
Oh, remember time he did this? And most people are what? How do you remember that?
Yeah. Yeah.
But it's just I remember too.
What happened to you in 1995 at 2 p.m. on a Tuesday?
Oh, that, well, I couldn't tell you that. I mean, still, time was not really a thing back then for me. It's just like, oh, I got all the time in the world. I'm a kid, just got to figure out what toy I want to play with today.
Yeah.
But the experiences and conversations that I would witness throughout my life. It's like all of a sudden out of nowhere, it's like just kind of recall it and be like, oh, remember this happened? And I'm like, what? How do you?
Yeah. It's a unique gift. Could very well come from the accident, right?
Who knows?
Who knows? But it is kind of on the extraordinary side of things, the ability to recall those events. Now, fast forward to middle school. What's one of your favorite memories growing up in middle school?
Oh, football.
Yeah? How come? Why was it your favorite?
Just the competitiveness of it. Granted, I was one of the smaller kids.
Okay.
But just growing up watching the Green Bay Packers.
Oh, yeah, dude.
And them winning a Super Bowl back in 97 there.
Cool.
And I remember when they won, at least it was the NFC Championship game against the Carolina Panthers. I remember we're up in Schwabenon or Green Bay, Wisconsin at our friend's, the Todd's house. And all of us kids and the dads are watching the game there. And after they won, we were running down the street with a Packer flag, just like, go, Pack, go, in the freezing cold.
That's fun, dude.
Yeah.
Wearing a T-shirt.
Yeah.
Probably. Yeah.
But, yeah, I played football, and my dad was one of the coaches, too.
Did your mom show up to a lot of your games?
Oh, she showed up to every game.
To every game.
To every game.
Yeah. What about your sisters? Sometimes, right? Because they're busy doing their own stuff.
I'm sure they were there just because my parents were there.
Yeah, so it was a family function.
Yeah.
Going to Jake's games.
Yeah.
How many years did you play football?
From 6th grade all the way till senior year of high school.
Really?
And so, I mean, position as far as what I played changed, but at least recalling it was like defensive back, so cornerback, safety. Actually played defensive end. Granted, I have no size to me at that point.
Yeah.
But just because we didn't have enough players on the team sometimes. Played running back, wide receiver, flanker, slot position, even quarterback, third string quarterback. I wasn't good at throwing the ball. Tried kicking the ball at least for field goals. Didn't get that position, but I was kind of a utility man all around.
How did you manage your stress in middle school? Because that can be kind of a unique time.
I don't think I really had a lot of stress back then.
What was your relationship like with your sisters?
I mean, you'd fight over just playing with toys or something, or like, oh, they're looking at me. But like,
did they ever break your trust in middle school?
Not that I recall.
No?
No.
Well, that's good. That's good. So you had a decent relationship with them then?
Oh, yeah. I mean, overall, like, our family really never argues.
Yeah.
I mean, we're pretty much, like, very understanding, and maybe that comes from our parents of just trying to see it from all perspectives of, like, oh, someone said this. Well, did you ever think why they said that? Or what's going on in their life? Maybe that they're just kind of lashing out, maybe.
Right.
I mean, Mom would do this with us, specifically me when I was taking an interest in politics, watching national news, because she was very good at keeping us educated on local matters and then also world matters and national matters.
Cool.
And so she'd be like, just always like, hey, it's 5 o'clock, local news is on. Oh, it's 5:30, national news is on. And we'd watch there and get educated on what's going on. And I mean, at one point when I started becoming into my own of like thinking of ideas of how to solve problems, I feel like, yeah, I think they need to do this. And she's like, why? And challenge me on it.
Yeah.
And and then she would also play devil's advocate of being someone on the opposite side of the issue and being like, oh, I don't like that. Like, you shouldn't do that. Like, well, no, but it's the right way. Like, I know what I'm doing. And she's like, do you though? Like, and just constant challenging. So it made us very good at like just being understanding from different perspectives of where people are coming from. And so probably why our family really doesn't have a lot of arguments. Maybe too much of a calm family for most people.
Yeah. Oh, that's cool. Nah, calm's good, man.
Yeah.
Calm's underrated. You know, peace is priceless. We talk about that all the time on here.
Yeah.
Yeah. What kind of, other than football, what else did you do for fun in middle school?
Middle school, hung out with friends, building bike jumps, like out of dirt.
Any instruments?
Trombone.
Trombone? Do you ski?
No.
No, but you're doing bikes.
Yeah.
That's how you're getting air in middle school.
Stunt bikes, and we also had the go-kart.
Yeah.
Because we had like about 3.5 acres of land.
What kind of fad toys were y'all into? I mean, for me, we had Mega yo-yos.
I remember those.
Yeah.
Pogs.
Pogs. For some reason, sneakers were huge growing up. You had to have cool shoes.
I wasn't about that one. Actually, no, I lie. I had the Adidas with the 3 stripes on them.
3 stripes.
Yep.
Yeah. And it's like, oh, you're cool.
Yeah.
You have those.
Yeah.
Which is crazy.
And Abercrombie and Fitch and Aeropostale back in the day of like, oh, those are the clothes to go for.
Right.
With the big ripped holes.
Out of your 8 choices in the mall to pick clothes from, those were the 2 to get them.
Yeah. But you had to have holes in them too. Otherwise, it wasn't cool.
Yeah. I had a shirt from Abercrombie and Fitch.
Yeah.
I was kind of a prankster. It said spitters or quitters on it. And my principal, Marco Pocantesta from the Bronx, he goes, "Hey, Greg, come here for a minute." I said, "Yes, Mr. Pocantesta." He goes, "What does your shirt mean?" And I go, "It means people that do chewing tobacco are quitting on life."
Whoops.
And he goes, "Yeah, do me a favor and turn it inside out." I was like, freaking got me.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, anyways, you're having a good time in middle school. You got your friend group.
Yeah. I mean, pretty normal childhood.
When did you get your first car?
Through Grandma and Grandpa for $500. It was,
How old are you?
I was 16, and it was a Buick Park Avenue.
Yeah, big ride.
Yeah.
Those are comfortable, though, dude.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
I mean, it had steel bumpers on it.
Yeah, and the seats.
Yeah, leather seats.
You're like a lazy boy, dude.
Oh, yeah.
Did you, when you're transitioning into high school, when did you kiss your first girl?
That was
5th grade?
No, kindergarten.
Kindergarten, right?
Tiffany Drake, I remember her name. It was on the school playground.
More times than not, when I ask guests this question, that's their answer. It's elementary school.
Yeah.
I was like, when's your first girlfriend? Kindergarten. Did you ever talk to her? No.
No, I mean, we did talk, but I don't know what she's doing now.
You talked in elementary school?
Yeah.
Okay. Hey, it's good, man.
Yeah.
Way to build a relationship at a young age.
Yeah.
It's so funny. You don't know where she's at now, though?
No. That was in Tyler, Texas, too, so.
Yeah, she can be anywhere. She'd find her on Facebook. Where's your phone?
Let's not do that.
Yeah, like that's
Hey, remember we kissed each other in
elementary school? I was thinking about you today.
You want to go on a date?
Oh, my God.
No.
Dude.
High school, let's see.
That would be one of the most funny things I've ever seen if you actually did that.
High school, I kind of like...
What happened in high school?
I wasn't really into dating back then. I was just kind of like, I just like doing my own thing, being a guy.
Okay.
Playing football, playing video games. I mean, when Halo came out, that was like...
It's a wrap.
That's when my nerd side came out.
On Xbox, the first Xbox.
Oh, yeah.
That was shaped like an X.
Yeah.
Now it's not shaped like an X. Now it's cube box.
Yeah.
It's rectangle cube box.
And I remember, 2004, where just like all the guys like checked out of high school that day just to go get Halo 2.
Yeah.
2004.
See, that was the thing.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That's fun stuff, man.
Yeah.
You know, you're growing up like, we're bonding over Pogs. What is even that? I don't know, but you're going to remember them one day, and it's super nostalgic.
Now
Halo comes out. It's a thing to do.
Now you're bonding online.
Yeah.
Killing each other.
Yeah. And how did that impact you once you got that Halo game, man?
Oh, man.
Did it change you in a negative way at all?
Yeah, I wasn't as social.
You weren't as social? Did you have the headset?
No, I didn't.
Xbox have a headset?
Yeah, no, it did. No, not the original, but the...
Well, 360 did.
360 did. I think the original did come with it, but it was really pointless because they didn't have it online. Yeah. But I was really big into real-time strategy games like Command and Conquer, of collect resources, build bases, build forces, and destroy the other side.
You know, I've had this conversation 2 or 3 times in the past week, coincidentally, about video games. Well, I'm about to make the conversation in this case. And what my point is that I attribute a lot of my thinking skills and the way I process to video games in a beneficial way.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's helped me immensely. Like Call of Duty, my processing speeds,
my
quick thinking.
Yeah.
It's been so helpful, I think.
like swapping through weapons, doing a quick kill or something.
What happened 5 seconds ago? What's happening right in front of me? What am I doing right now? Ready, go.
Oh,
and it's like the cadence is just like bang, 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 right? And applying that type of thought, that speed into everyday life, it literally makes things seem slower, which is great to have.
Great to have, but takes a lot of your time.
Now, right, if you train your brain like a muscle, okay, because it is a muscle, just like you work out in the gym, what if you just did an hour a day?
Yeah, as a kid, no.
Not happening.
No, I'd be up until 2 or 3 in the morning during high school playing video games. And my parents were like, why are you always tired?
They would say that?
Yeah.
They didn't check on your bed? They didn't check your TV and stuff?
So I had a computer in my room, and I learned at some point, like, I'm going to put this blanket right by the door so they can't see the light coming through it.
Did they ever catch you?
They did.
Yeah.
A few times.
Yeah,
but,
dude.
But I'd right.
No chance.
But again, just like a kid, go right back to doing it. Put the blanket by the door there, covered up. Oh, yeah, he's asleep now, probably. Nope.
Oh. Wow, naughty Jake.
So yeah, that was me misbehaving there, or just a lot of video games and football back then.
Were you ever treated fairly in life in high school?
No, I mean, I was, well...
Unfair. Did I say unfair or fair?
Fairly.
No, I meant to say unfairly, yeah. My bad.
I mean, like...
You said no.
Cause,
you said no to fairly?
I mean...
Like, what?
I was definitely raised on Disney, like all of us, but like raised to the point of where it's like other kids in middle school are watching rated R movies. I'm still watching Disney till like I'm 16, 17 years old.
Oh, yeah. I wasn't allowed to watch South Park ever.
Oh, same.
Yeah.
Or The Simpsons.
Nope.
Or, yeah.
Yep.
Even Rugrats was off limits.
Rugrats?
I know.
What?
Yeah.
No, I'm calling a contest on that one. I'm calling up your parents right now and saying, Rugrats?
Yeah, because it looked similar to The Simpsons, so they thought maybe similar.
They didn't do their research. It looks more like Ren and Stimpy.
Mom and Dad, I know you're going to watch this, so yeah.
Don't apologize for me. I'm not apologetic.
I'm not. I'm just saying, like, yeah. That's what I recall.
You deprived Jake. He's sad about it.
Oh, I caught.
Now he binged on all the Rugrats.
Yeah, I caught up on it later.
And he ate ice cream the whole time while he was watching it.
No, those were some good moments, though. I'll tell you, of calling in sick for school.
Yeah.
Or not calling in sick, but telling your parents, oh, I'm sick. And I just remember, watching a movie on a Sunday night knowing I don't have to go to school because I'm sick. Mom's bringing in mac and cheese, and then just mowing down on ice cream afterwards. I got a sore throat. I need that ice cream.
Yeah.
That's probably why I'm still addicted to ice cream.
Oh, my God, bro. That's the life. When you had a day off the next day and everybody else is at school, it's like, how free and liberating is that?
Yeah.
Sheesh.
Oh, and actually in middle school, though, just to backtrack slightly,
yeah,
I got mononucleosis.
Oh.
So
how'd you you were kissing?
I don't know. I probably did kiss.
They call that the kissing disease.
Yeah, I forget who I kissed, though.
Or what?
Yeah.
Not who, but what? You were in Wisconsin.
Yeah.
There's a lot of cows up there.
No, definitely not that. But it was probably one of those girls that kissed me in middle school. But anyways.
So you got mono, dude. That wipes you out.
Oh, yeah. My mom, actually, recorded, on average, I'd sleep 22 hours a day.
Bro.
I would literally get up to go to the bathroom, eat food, and go back to bed.
Whoa. It's that intense, dude?
Yeah.
Did you dream? Do you remember dreaming a lot?
The dreams, no. I mean, I probably did, but I know it lasted a few months, and, eventually the doctor, when I was going to go back to school, but still, I'm still tired a lot, he prescribed me Mountain Dew.
Are you messing with me?
No. I got a whole 24-pack of Mountain Dew that I'd have to go to the nurse's office and grab it whenever I needed it.
If I could see a copy of that prescription that says Mother Effing Mountain Dew, I would pay. I'd pay to have that framed. That is such a 90s?
I don't even know.
Early 2000s thing.
Yeah.
That's one of the most crazy things I've ever heard in my life, Jake. Yeah. I'm not, seriously.
Prescribing more sugar and caffeine for a kid to stay up.
Mountain Dew. That's not even a prescribable thing, is it? It's like, oh, go eat some tree bark. I'm just going to pick some random thing out there. Go get it.
So
is that a joke?
No.
Was he joking?
No.
He wrote that.
Oh, everyone like was totally envious of me because I got to like leave class whenever I want if I was feeling tired, so I get to go sleep down in the nurse's office, and then here's your Mountain Dew on your way out.
Yeah,
specifically Code Red back in the day. Oh,
that was
so
the jam.
Oh yeah,
they still make that.
I'm sure they do.
We should get some as a nostalgia trip, just once, and eat some McDonald's too. I haven't had that.
Oh no, thank you on the McDonald's. Maybe Taco Bell.
Come on,
I'll go Taco.
The volcano burrito, or the crunch wrap, or the
chalupa,
bro, with the soft poofy thing on the outside, and the crunchy in the middle.
Oh yeah,
and I could go for a chalupa. Yeah, you can put those down. I'm at Taco Bell in a minute.
Or even do the KFC corn popper bowl.
What's a corn popper?
I don't know.
Popcorn chicken?
The popcorn chicken, but yeah, with the mashed potatoes and gravy and just roll up.
Yes.
Yeah.
Slam it. And the cheese. They melt the cheese on
top. And then
top.
followed up by steak chalupa.
I love this. What was your room like growing up?
It was pretty clean for the most part.
And it was all in Tyler, Texas.
No, I mean, then there was...
How many years were you in Tyler?
A year and a half, 2 years tops.
Oh.
And my dad got transferred for work again, so then suburbs of Illinois, where when we first moved there, house hadn't been quite acquired yet, so we were living out of a hotel for 2 weeks.
Okay. I got you.
But, and then finally to Oconomowoc, where, that was pretty much like my home for 20-some years.
20-some years. So there, what was your room like?
Again, pretty clean, maybe some clothes lying about, but...
Yeah, well, I mean, like the decor.
Actually, I had 2 shelves, and I was a big Jurassic Park fan.
Yeah.
I love my dinosaurs. In 3rd grade, I had actually convinced all my classmates, like, we had to, like, build our dream home, or draw it out, I should say. And so mine was the visitor center from Jurassic Park.
Dude.
And it was at the end of the street where everyone else's houses were. And I was picking people out in class. I'm like, you're going to be my game warden. You're going to be Dennis Nedry.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's fun. You miss that room?
No.
No?
I like my new room.
You like your new room?
A current room.
Yeah.
But I had 2 shelves, though, that had just all Jurassic Park toys on it.
Yeah. That's fun. Where are those toys today? Are they in a box in your
They're in a box. Maybe they'll be worth something down the road.
Could be.
Some of them were never unboxed.
Yeah.
And then also had another couple rows of tiny shelves above my closet door that were all the football cards my dad and I collected.
Sick.
And it majority of it was Brett Favre cards.
The man.
So we had the rookie card of Brett Favre from the Topps 91 set. We had the leather one from the Skybox 97 set. I mean, kind of then after the Brett Favre era is when we kind of lost interest in collecting cards. It's all right, well, can we sell these things?
Yeah, because your guy's gone.
Yeah.
The interest is gone. Yeah.
Then with what's going on with him currently, but whole other story there. Mississippi scandal or whatever, some fundraiser.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Not worth getting into, though.
Okay.
It's pointless for this discussion.
You're bringing up some memories for me here. I grew up mostly in a bedroom that was probably, it was way smaller than this room.
Okay.
It could fit a bunk bed, a twin size bunk bed, a dresser, and a chest. It was probably this big, Jake. As see the ends of the chairs, like that, the end of that chair to this wall. It was very small. You walk in it, the door could barely open. And then my mother stayed on the bottom bunk, and I was on the top bunk for years because my dad would snore, so she couldn't sleep next to him.
Yeah.
And, wow. That's like digging in the crates, bro. That part of my life was it was like I was living in a horror movie, man. Because that house, I hated that house because it was being remodeled. Mm-hmm. And it was such a pit. It was so dark. There was tar coming up from the tiles.
Yeah.
Right? So tell me what happened when you got out of high school. How'd that feel?
Yeah, relieved. And then more school.
Yeah. OCS.
That didn't happen until sophomore year of college. So started out at UW Waukesha, which was the first 2 years just to get basic courses out of the way. It was still part of the major UW system.
Right.
But still thinking at the time I wanted to go for nuclear engineering. And back then, just because nukes were a lot of talk with the Iraq war going on. and just found it very interesting with like, the potential possibilities of all the power it could generate. Nuclear fusion was still being discussed at the time as like, okay, it could be a long-term sustainable energy. So that was what was driving me towards that, and just kind of, again, tinkering with stuff, like, because I had Legos growing up. So,
Legos.
Yeah, just building stuff. Oh,
You're an active guy, huh?
yeah.
You're always doing something with your hands.
Well, not Legos today, but adult Legos with a Cold Plunge Caddy parts, sure.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I was taking courses for nuclear engineering that I thought would transfer to UW-Madison that only had the only nuclear program in the state of Wisconsin. But the courses didn't transfer over, so then I was doing political science classes, too, at the same time for basic courses, but found it very interesting. And so I was acing all of them. I'm like, this is a very cool topic. Like, I'd like to pursue this then, because now I'm not going to go to UW-Madison. And then got accepted into UW-Milwaukee as a fallback school that most people go to there. And I shouldn't say fallback school, but like generally a lot of people, that would be their go-to school in Wisconsin.
Some of your most memorable moments?
Yeah. Which ones? Making WAP for parties out in the parking lot at UW?
Making WAP. You know what that means in this culture that we're in today?
Oh, well, jungle juice, whatever you want to call it.
Because you know what WAP means, Jake.
I know.
I can't believe you were making that in the parking lot. How do you make that?
That's what we call the jungle juice, of basically pouring all the different alcohols into a cooler.
Just making sure.
Yeah.
We don't want to confuse the audience here.
True.
He's making alcoholic drinks.
Yeah.
And people all smacked in the parking lot.
Yeah. Well, it was 4 parties, but like we would take pulls of alcohol before we go to class.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. Big partier. I kind of followed after my dad. He won't admit to it, but...
Yeah, you caught glimpses of that, I'm sure.
Yeah, he'd tell me some stories. I don't know all of them, but like definitely, I'd say it was graduation night, the night before graduation of high school is where I had my first beer. And actually not just the first beer, I had 5 first beers.
Yeah, you got a little tipsy, huh?
And everyone back then considered me goody two-shoes. So like, wait, how are you drinking? Like, can you believe this Margis is drinking over here? Like,
yeah, you know what you're probably thinking? You're probably thinking, I've been waiting my whole life for this.
Yeah, I was just like, oh, this is a nice buzz going on here.
You're like, I can do anything.
Yeah.
I'm going to fight somebody.
Yeah.
Really?
No.
You ever get in a fight?
A couple times, but nothing really happened, though. Look at the other guy. No, nothing really bad happened in that regard. It's pushing, shoving, but nothing substantial.
Remember these dudes in my high school, man? They used to fight. And it was like this crazy stuff you see on the internet and those
Oh, yeah.
fight.
Back when Never Back Down was one of the big movies.
Yeah, and they're just going at it hardcore, like knocking people out on street fights. And it was just...
Kimbo Slice there, knocking that guy's eye out.
Like Kimbo style.
Yeah.
Where they're just really ripping into each other. Not like, hey, I'm going to mess you up and then it's done in 2 seconds. No, they're getting it.
Oh, yeah.
Like, what's wrong with you guys?
Yeah. I mean, most of that energy I left on the football field or football practice.
Good. That's a good place to do it.
And same with rugby that I also did, along with track and field. That was high school, but then, yeah, going to college, a lot of partying.
When did you get your girlfriend? High school? College?
No, that was college. Met each other at a restaurant that we both worked at.
Your first girlfriend ever?
First, yeah, serious girlfriend.
And you were going to get married?
Yeah, that was...
Wow.
I was just kind of rushing things along.
Well, did you love her?
I did. I mean, but again, just wasn't God's plan, wasn't the right person.
Yep, and that's all it really is.
I mean, also thinking I had the world figured out at 22 years old, I definitely didn't.
You didn't?
No.
Oh,
even though
I figured a guy like you might have actually had it.
No,
I'm being facetious, by the way.
No, thanks.
No one gets it at 22.
Well, nowadays, I mean, if you want to compare it to the founding fathers of this country that were like 16 years old writing the Constitution, yeah, we're a little bit behind schedule there on our development as a human species.
You're pulling my leg.
No.
Who?
It was James Madison, I think, was like 16.
16?
Yeah. I mean, the oldest founding father was Thomas Jefferson at like 32, 33.
What?
Yeah.
You know what's crazy? Anytime you see a picture of these dudes, they're all old. White hair.
Yeah. Wigs were back in style.
They were young bucks, huh?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, I mean... development back then, because everyone's life expectancy wasn't very long. You know, you had to kind of develop quicker.
Right.
Nowadays, we've really, I'd say, digress as our development as human species.
What would you say?
Today's culture.
Yeah. It could very well be true. We're going to get the data on that. What would you say that you're most proud of in your college experience?
Getting the nickname The Machine.
Why'd they call you that?
Just my work ethic, drinking heavily.
Machine. I am the machine.
Exactly.
When that came out, you're like, I made a movie about me.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Bert Kreischer or whatever his name is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like
They literally made a movie called The Machine.
Yeah.
That's great. Did you ever get any big time trouble in college, Jake, with the law?
Oh, yeah.
What do you mean, oh, yeah? It sounds like it was a repetitive thing.
Yeah.
Tell us about that.
There's the underage drinking ticket at a Brewers game or after a Brewers game.
A ticket?
Yeah.
They didn't check your ID. It wasn't a fake ID. It was just a, hey, you're underage drinking.
Yeah, I mean, this was well after the game.
Did they prove it?
What?
How'd they prove it that you were drinking?
Oh, I was passed out in the back seat of my own car that my friend was driving. And we got pulled over.
Did they breathalyze?
Oh, yeah, they did. I was passed out, so. And then we had a whole 30 case of beer in the car still.
That's what's wrong in them, though. You're in the back seat, right?
Yeah, well, but he got pulled over. My friend did, who was driving my car.
And they nabbed you.
Well, he got nabbed, too. I mean, he got taken in, but he blew a 0 at that point because he hadn't been drinking for a while, but I was still gone.
Wow.
And I remember, they towed my car to my parents' driveway, and the tow truck driver's like, oh, you can get out and drive the car the rest of the way. But the next morning, woke up, and apparently, as I was getting out of the tow trucks, my underage drinking ticket fell out, blew into the neighbor's yard, and
oh no,
they found it, of course, and called my mom the next morning. And yeah, I was grounded for a little bit.
You know something? Your neighbors had a choice here. They had your future in their hands. And what did they decide to do? They decided to call your freaking mom.
Well, I mean, they didn't have my number, but also it's just like at some point I do have to answer for this.
I just hope that they didn't go, hey, there's something we want to tell you.
I don't know.
Jake, we found his ticket. Yeah.
I don't think it was like that.
I don't think, all right, I hope not.
No, I think they're just like, hey, just want to let you know your son's ticket's here.
That sounds good.
Yeah.
All right.
And
if they did talk like that, Jake,
no.
you're going to have to go knock on some.
No, I mean, hey, wind took it over into their yard. What can I do about that? But that was one instance. There was also another close call with death again.
Really? When?
This was
in
before,
college?
This is before I transferred to UW Milwaukee. I was wanting to have one more night with the bros.
Yeah.
Just go out, get hammered. Remember my dad, I had asked him if I could take the family van for the night. Piled a bunch of us guys in there, and we went downtown Milwaukee, so a good 45-minute drive.
Oh.
And we went to Mikey's, which was like somewhat of a piano bar, I think, but it was kind of just a low-key bar.
Yeah.
But it was getting wild that night, and they were doing like dollar drinks, both beer and mixed drinks. And like they had last call, and I remember a friend of mine, both him and I, like on last call, like grabbed like 4 beers, 4 mixed drinks, and we're just slamming them.
Right, $8.
Yeah,
$8.
And
smashed.
And somehow everyone else in our group disappeared, stayed somewhere else for the night. So it was just me and the other friend, and we got in the car there. I remember, kind of blacking out, but running through all the red lights downtown. Blacking out again, going down the freeway south towards Chicago, and like kind of coming to like, why am I going towards Chicago? And then using one of those police areas where they sit between the freeway there, using them to turn around on the freeway in the middle of a snowstorm on top of that. And then going back towards my parents' house, and I remember passing by their subdivision. And I'm like, there's where mom and dad's house is. Like, probably should just go there, sleep this off. Made it this far.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no, like my friend's parents said they wanted him home tonight. I don't know just why that thought was in my head there, but I was like, I got to get him home. Taking all the back windy roads. And at one point we went on a tight turn over some black ice. Car just slid right across, got airborne, and literally got wedged right in between two trees, just sitting like 4 feet off the ground.
Whoops.
And when I came to it, like, there's blood everywhere. I'm like, oh, no. Okay, that's all right. Oh, it was just my lip split open from the airbag.
Okay.
And all the windows were blown out.
Jeez.
Luckily for either of us, if a couple inches one way or another, like one of us would have been killed by a tree.
Yeah.
And his legs were like scrunched in from the impact too. So luckily he didn't lose a leg.
Right.
And so then like tried to get out of the car, and it's like leaping out one of the windows, and it's like, oh, we are far off the ground here. And then just trying to figure out where we're at. And then eventually like I called my dad. Call you didn't want to make at that point, but I'm like, hey, so we kind of went off the road a little bit. Could you come get us?
A little bit.
Just a little.
Hey, you're just kind of stuck in some trees.
Yeah. No, that part wasn't mentioned, but I know him when he listens to this, it won't be a good memory, but so yeah, like we were trying to see if we could get a snowplow to like pull the car out, just wasn't moving. Eventually had to get the cops involved. Sitting back in the squad car, and I told the officer, like, look, I know I messed up big time. Like, do whatever you need to do your job. Like, I will take full responsibility for this. And so he gets out of the car and talks to my dad for a while, and then he opens my door, and he's like, you can get out. I'm like, what? And then he's talking to me. He's like, okay, like, right now, like, your ass should be going to jail, but your dad's about to rip you a new one. Like, you're going to get it really bad right now. And I'm feeling lenient tonight, so I'm going to give you a reckless driving ticket. And yeah, I got it from my dad. I mean, I remember driving home with him. He's like, I'm not going to say anything. Just go to bed, sleep. We'll talk tomorrow.
It's just even worse.
Yeah.
Just rip Band-Aid off, pop.
Yeah. But again, that's, learning a lesson there of like, hey, I have to be accountable for my own actions. I did this.
Yeah.
And so that's something that I always wanted to do as an individual, is always be accountable for myself.
Were you ever scared of your parents?
Yeah, that night with my dad, yeah.
Yeah?
And also growing up being a smaller kid, yeah. Throwing around the football with my dad. He'd also know how to raise his voice pretty well.
Okay.
So he was definitely a disciplinarian in the house.
Okay.
But, so yeah. It was,
what age did you start pushing back on that?
I remember when it was high school and I'd done poorly one semester.
Yeah.
And he's like questioning, like, why are you getting these bad grades here? And I'd been like, well, hey, like, you've never helped me with my homework. You never come to parent-teacher conferences. Like,
you blamed him?
Well, it's just like you're wondering why my progress is not, it is what it is at the end of it, but you were never asked during that time.
Yeah. It's like,
not
say you gotten it, bro.
Yeah, it's just like, hey, if you showed up, like, you'd maybe know what's going on at that point or where I'm struggling.
Yeah.
It's still still up to me, though, to, like, actually come through and get the grades. But at least that's where I said, like, hey, be more involved. Like, you're always involved with my sports, but be involved in my education, too. So.
Call him out. He said, dang, Jake, you're right.
No, I mean, I still think there was disagreement there on that part of it, but he did get more involved a little bit.
Yeah, those are a turning point in every young man's life.
And also after, like, the accident, too, or maybe it was before the accident, I remember when they knew I was going to parties a lot in college.
Yeah.
And they were, like, worried about, like, what is this going to lead to? Because they're like, okay, you're drinking here. Like, there's drugs at these parties. Like, you could get in drugs. You could then eventually go to jail. And I remember you're like, well, look, like, I've never experienced any of this. Like, also, like, I'm only sticking to drinking. Like, I'm not getting any of the other stuff. But I'm like, either way, like, I do have to learn. You can't just keep telling me, no, don't do something. I have to make mistakes. They're like, well, what if that mistake leads you to jail? I'm like, well, again, I will take full responsibility. That's on me. Well, it's something that they don't want to hear, but it's like, hey, eventually, like, kids do need to learn.
Yep.
On their own.
Yep. That's adulthood. Once they're an adult, time to learn on their own.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's many more stories too, but we won't get into all of them.
Yeah. We'd be here all day.
Oh, I got plenty.
And it's 9:20 p.m., folks, on a Monday night.
Yeah.
It's been a heck of a day. Jake, what's one thing you want to share with your parents? A moment of gratitude for your parents.
Everything that they've done for me.
Yeah.
I mean, raised me, keeping a good head on my shoulders. I mean, all the mistakes I've made in life, it's like still like I've learned a lot from them. And also seen what a good marriage, good relationship for them looks like, good parenting looks like. So
How long have they been married for?
Gosh, this is where they're going to bash me on this. I want to say they just did their 40 years.
Dude, it's hard. Even if you're married yourself, it's hard to remember that stuff, so don't worry about it.
Yeah, I remember it's May 20th. That's their anniversary.
Cool.
But, yeah, no, they've been going strong and still going strong.
What's one thing you want to say to your great-great-great-grandkids and so on that might watch this, that want to get to know you and listen to your biography?
Don't let anyone ever dissuade you or limit your own self-worth or abilities. If you want to do something, go for it, no matter how long it takes.
Exactly, no matter how long it takes. Patience. Patience is underrated as well. Jake, how do people get a hold of you?
At Machine Margis on Instagram.
At Machine Margis on Instagram. And, of course, I'm doing another plug just like I did in episode 1 for Jake. You got to hit up Jake's Cakes.
Best cookie cakes in Austin.
They're freaking awesome, all right? I got one for my buddy Jonathan a couple weeks ago because they're having a boy. Jake made this super cool blue birthday or newborn baby cake, and Jonathan and I had a piece the time I delivered it, and it was, oh my God, I wanted to eat the whole thing. Then he did another one for us, another 2 for a jungle-themed boat party, super creative. The art came out really nice, and of course, people crushed them because they taste amazing. So hit up Jake's Cakes for your awesome parties.
Also did a wedding cake the other weekend.
Yeah, saw that on Instagram.
Yep, a 50-pound wedding cake. Cookie and chocolate cake.
Dude, that's a winning formula. Yeah, Jake's on to some really cool things here. Inventions, cookie cake business. And so follow along his story and hit him up if you ever want to chat. Here's, I'm going to put him on the spot. Any words of wisdom before we leave, Jake? Or moments of inspiration? A moment of inspiration, rather.
As one of my mentors said, life is a marathon, not a sprint. So don't compare yourself to where others are at your age in life, or, the journey is part of the enjoyment.
Yeah, it's all about the process.
Mm-hmm.
Enjoy the process. Love that. Folks, you heard it here first. Greg Carlson, your host and local real estate expert. Austin Elite Podcast. Jake Margis, thanks so much for hopping on again. And we'll see y'all next time. Stay fired up.
Stay fired up.
Ciao.